From ridding the galaxy of Starship Trooper-like bugs to cleansing what the community has dubbed Space Vietnam, Helldivers 2 has been taking the world by storm, and the gaming community thinks it's unironically epic. So today I've decided to figure out, why do they think it's so good, and is it really that good? And so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is a sequel to a game that I had never even heard of, called Helldivers. Both games focus on you, a Helldiver, sworn to protect and serve your sweet liberty, freedom and democracy from anyone or anything that might want to take it. In other words, Helldivers 2 is a third-person action co-op shooter where your main goal is to eradicate all hostile factions throughout your galaxy if they're not human. Helldivers 2 is also a live service game, which if you're anything like me, those two words, live and service, have already started setting off alarm bells inside your brain, but just wait one little moment, because this game is nothing like a Destiny or the recent Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Oh my gosh, that game looks really bad. No, Helldivers 2 has live service components to it, but it really doubles down and focuses on the most important part of any video game, and that is making it a fun game to play. So let's dive into the first thing that I think Helldivers 2 is doing fantastically that's shaking up the gaming community so aggressively. And that first thing, of course, is gameplay. When you take your first glance at the gameplay of Helldivers 2, you might react a little like I did at first. Is that it? Shoot bugs, go home? Looks fun, but doesn't look that amazing. Well, here's the thing about the gameplay. It's not really that amazing. But wait, don't go writing hate comments just yet. I love this gameplay, but it's not about having incredible groundbreaking new types of gameplay and mechanics. The reason this gameplay is hooking so many people is because of the age-old expression. It's not how big it is. Wait, no, wrong one. It's not what you have, it's how you use it. See, Helldivers 2 does something far more important than creating a new groundbreaking type of gameplay. It takes all the things we love about certain types of games, like grounded and semi-realistic shooting, diverse and fun enemy types, horde-based mechanics, push and pull style conquest motivation, exciting co-op interactions and frantic and hectic encounters with enemies, and they slap it all together with a great level of polish and a few spins, which we'll talk about later, and that's how they get their incredible gameplay. See, this only lists a few things, but Helldivers 2 expertly combines many types of gameplay to create what I've dubbed an environment full of maximum shenanigan potential. You see, Helldivers 2 throws you into a galaxy under siege by two different forces, the totally not Starship Trooper bugs and the totally not Terminators. Your goal is to take back any planets stolen by these forces, or forcibly take the planets from them, aka forced democracy. What do I mean by this? Well, Helldivers 2 allows you and your friends to take everything offered to you and go wild. You send it down to a planet and you get to killing. So you might have an objective to complete, but honestly, as cliche as it is, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Let me give you a little example of the kind of shenanigans you can encounter. Alright. So you're trying to get to your next objective, but there are hordes upon hordes of bugs chasing you down. So you're calling to your friends for help, but unfortunately, they're all frantically fighting off their own bug-related issues. So you'll leg it up a hill, creating distance from the bugs that are attempting to turn you into some kind of Helldiver stew, and you begin to enact your plan. You've given yourself about 20 meters or so you quickly put in the correct inputs to get yourself an airstrike, grab hold of it, and send it into the horde. Feeling accomplished, you look over the soon-to-be decimated landscape with glee, until you notice a little something amongst the chaos that isn't quite supposed to be there. Your teammate. And before you can even choke out the words to save his life, boom. Along with the horde goes your precious Helldiver companion. Feeling defeated and ashamed, you look to your other buddies awaiting their judgment, but instead they look you in the eye and they shout confidently,
"Every day is a good day to die for democracy."
Then they give you a hug and continue to mow down the hordes of bugs as you stroll towards the next objective together. You see, what's so wonderful about this is it's not a scripted moment. Helldivers 2 doesn't give you some heavily scripted cutscenes where you watch stuff happen. No, the game gives you so much freedom within a well-crafted gameplay scenario. You can't help but have these funny or sometimes epic moments. And the fact that it's all entirely situational means that every player has their own different stories to tell. This is what I believe is the main thing bringing so many people to Helldivers 2, and I believe it's also the main reason they stay. Something that is exploding at the moment within the world of Helldivers 2, and honestly I hope this sticks around for a while, the sense of community. The game itself is thriving with upwards of 400,000 for the peak player count, and that's just on Steam. But something else that's going crazy is any mention of Helldivers online. The game is going viral everywhere. YouTube, TikTok, sure that's the usual, but I'm seeing Helldivers on Facebook and Instagram of all places. It's truly a game that so many people are engaging with and loving it. Going along with the theme of community, people everywhere are sharing their awesome clips and stories from their adventures in the world of Helldivers. And what enhances that sharing is the developers of the game known as Arrowhead Game Studios are getting involved in all the fun. For starters, they actively engage in the comments and tweets around the game. But something that genuinely impresses me is that sometimes the matches themselves inside of Helldivers 2 are being orchestrated by a live GM, which is a game master. This basically means that any point that you're playing a match of Helldivers, a game master might show up into your match and begin dropping bombs or spawning enemies, or even giving you access to unreleased content as we've seen recently. This, along with the intention to provide consistent updates and content to the game, has me not just optimistic but genuinely excited about the future of this game. Okay, we've mentioned it. Ongoing support, aka live service. Time to tackle this. As we've seen with the recent release of Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, people are not fans of live service anymore. Also we thought, because released literally days apart, was Helldivers 2, a live service game. So why is Helldivers 2 taking the world by storm and Suicide Squad is basically a dead game? Well, besides the obvious gameplay differences, Suicide Squad has been designed around a live service, whereas Helldivers 2 being designed as a game with some live service additions gives it a real big upper hand. Now in terms of actual content, Helldivers 2 plans to release content regularly as free updates to the game. No word yet on how regularly this will be, but we'll see. As far as live service goes, this is the most consumer friendly I've seen so far. It's clear that the devs have built this game from a place of passion first, and selling cosmetics just to keep the game evolving and the lights on at the studio is kind of fine by me. Did I mention these cosmetics only cost anywhere from $1 to $2? They've shown with this model that they're not here to squeeze as many pennies out of you as possible. Turns out people aren't sick of live service games, just sick of being treated like a wallet. Alright, to be honest, I'm glad that part's over. Let's talk about world building. This section will be fairly short due to me knowing little to nothing about the world of Helldivers, at least narratively. I want to focus more on the incredible satire and hilarious writing in general that this game has chosen to run with. I love the intro cinematic to this game. It so perfectly captures the same satirical military comedy that Starship Troopers gave us all those years ago, and this continues throughout the gameplay with amazing one-liners that may be played a little too much, along with really fun little voice lines that are sprinkled throughout your time on your personal ship. Clearly the writers know what made the old movies so good and are running with those ideas. This writing is the source of so many incredible memes and moments that are really helping bring the Helldivers community together. I'm also under the impression that between Helldivers 1 and 2 there's extensive lore. I don't really know, but apparently you can dig quite deep into it, and it might even have hinted at the next enemy faction joining the game. So quickly, I just wanted to sprinkle in a little bit about presentation in Helldivers 2. From the enemy design to the Helldivers themselves, everything is classic sci-fi, as well as heavily inspired by different pop culture trends. I'm a sucker for anything that resembles sci-fi armor, and this game has me eating good. Finally, on the presentation point, all the worlds within this game are beautiful. Obviously, some planets are muggy and gross, but in terms of art direction and style, they're all fantastically realized and really well made. I want to quickly take the time here to mention some random things I love and don't love about Helldivers 2. I didn't want to dedicate entire paragraphs to this, so here we go. I love the game's gunplay. It feels gritty and tangible, but also fun and sci-fi enough to fit the space theme. I don't love how often my character seems to scream the same one-liner throughout the match. Liberty was really funny the first few times, but it would be awesome if the devs brought some new one-liners as the game updates. Capes. Some people love them, but I certainly do not. I would love the option to remove the capes, although I do understand part of being a Helldiver is getting your cape. I think those hunter flying bugs, you probably know the ones I'm talking about, they're a little bit overkill on the higher difficulties, but I can also see this as a get good moment. I love all the environmental details and hazards that make the world feel just that little bit more alive. I love how so much of the equipment you can use is so fun and diverse, but so many of them are just flat out bad, so you can't really use them in the higher difficulties. Okay, so here we are at the end of all of this, and honestly, I don't know how long this game will hold people's attention. It's doing so many things so well at the moment, but it also has the whole world watching it. I think it truly has the potential to be the next big live service game. If it's supported well, it could be the next Destiny, especially considering Destiny's not doing so well in public opinion right now. But I do want to ask you this question. Does Helldivers 2 need to be the next Destiny? Does it need to be the next game that lasts 10 years and is updated to the point it's not even the same game anymore? Or is it okay if Helldivers 2 creates a big bang like it has and then fades away over time, being remembered as that damn good co-op shooter that shook the world for a while? I really don't know, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Should Helldivers become the next big live service? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video.